I mean, people I barely know, and it is amazing. But more importantly, I've gained experience. Just yesterday, I was in front of a Dunkin' Donuts, and I watched a girl walk in, and as I asked her, on your way out, if you'd like to make a donation to help feed some families in your community, it'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. And I looked and I realized real quick her eyes were beet red. So I sat there and I waited, and I watched her check out, and I grabbed one of my flyers and I walked up to her, and she was pretty quick to walk out. And I got about 5-6 feet behind her, and I kind of did a light jog, and I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, "Hey," I said, "I want you to have my flyer." I said, "It looks like you could use an ear or a shoulder to lean on." I said, "If you ever need to talk to anyone, whether it's me or my wife," I said, "we'd be more than happy to do that." And she goes, "Okay." And you know, it's sometimes you got to put yourself out there and be aware of those situations. So the more you practice and the more you get aware of the situations around you, it'll blow you away. You'll get better and better at what you do. And, you know, I'm getting better at certain situations of recognizing different ways to lead people and guide them. And I'm still learning every single day. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm striving. I'm trying to do my best every day, stay in the Word, and let God lead me. But another thing that I think we also lose sight of is the power of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes you just do not realize what is going on in that person's life. And you might think for just 1 minute that, man, I didn't do that well. But you know what? That person heard exactly what God wanted them to hear, and you'll be blown away. The next thing is on instruction, coaches and instructors. You know, different pro athletes, from tennis to golf to boxing to basketball, they all have different coaches and so forth. And in the Christian world, we call them mentors. And instruction is important. To have a teacher or a coach who can help you set appropriate goals and establish well-constructed training tasks to reach those goals. They can help elevate your performance and give you informative feedback. Well, as Christians, I think that it's very important that we seek other guys and other women that are seeking Christ. And we need to say, hey man, we need to surround ourselves around those good, godly people, because the Bible tells us that bad character corrupts good morals. And sometimes, if you're running with the wrong crowd as teens, sometimes you just got to cut loose and go with a different crowd to get away. And then sometimes you can be that light in that dark crowd, coming back to them and sharing what Christ has done in your life. Situational awareness is one of my favorite ones. I got a great story for this. Situational awareness is exactly what it sounds like. A second nature understanding of the world around you and the situations you find yourself in so that you can navigate your way through. Okay. For me, my situational awareness has absolutely been sharpened through my prayer life. 3 years ago, I would have walked by someone with tattoos and maybe not looking so hot, not wearing the right clothes or driving the right car. If they got a little hoopty, I would have walked right by you and probably scoffed and maybe under my breath, loser, get a job, whatever. Now, I see them through a different lens. I see them through Christ's lens. And when I am prayerful about situations, it is absolutely amazing. There are some days that I absolutely believe that God is not only standing next to me, but he is like going, I got you, brother. I'm gonna, man, you asked for it. I can't wait to give it to you. Just the other day, I was here 2 weeks ago, and I was here 2 weeks ago Sunday. That Saturday night before I came here, I had an opportunity to, actually it was, I think it was the Friday night before. I had the opportunity, before I came here, I want you guys to know my wife works about 8 days a month, and I had been 3 days with my kids. And man, we are built differently than women. There is no doubt about that. I was breakfast, lunch, dinner, the wipes, the bubble baths, driving to the school, and I was Mr. Mom. And I love my kids. Guys, I love them. But 3 straight days, and if anyone knows me, I'm a little ADD and I love to get out. I can't stand to be in a house. And I am just jonesing to get out. Well, what happens the next day? I have to do an 18-hour trip to Michigan. So I have 18 hours in a car with all my kids. God love them. I get here. My wife goes, well, I got to work tomorrow. So you got the kids one more day. Lord, please give me patience. So I have them one more day. 6 o'clock, she says, Jeff, come pick me up. I said, okay. I get in the car, and I'm driving down Alexis Road in Toledo, Ohio. And I say, Lord, please let me share my faith today. I said, it's been 4 days since I've basically been out of a house per se, and I am just really wanting to share my faith. I walked into my wife's work, and I heard her talking to the last employee of the night that was working with her. And they were talking, and I kind of just sat to the side about 10 feet away, and I listened, and I listened, and I listened. And as I listened for about maybe 7 minutes, my wife kind of looked over at me like, could you take the ball? And she introduces him to me. And she had already mentioned kind of what we did. And he says, oh, so you're like a priest. Okay, sure. Well, no, so but I didn't want to go right into my ministry at all. I said, hey, Rick, I kind of heard a little bit about your conversation you're going. I said, could you tell me a little bit more? For 35 minutes, I gave him my undivided attention, never taking my eyes off him, listening and hanging on every single word. Sometimes, guys, I know you don't really want to. I'm thinking there's a pizza, there's this. There's times when the devil will play those games. And I'm going to be honest, I was tired. I mean, I had 4 strong days, but I really wanted to do this. I prayed for it, and I was laughing because I'm like, Lord, you are giving me this opportunity. So we begin to talk. And had a bunch of tattoos, really, he had a tattoo that was almost like a fetus and with some scissors, and I was kind of, well, what's all this about? And we got talking, and I almost backed out of sharing my faith. I don't know why. I don't know why I almost chickened out. There's times that you chicken out or you don't do it. And I almost did. And I don't know what it was that he said, and I said, man, what it was is I remember Mark Cahill in one of his devotionals saying, man, you don't lose if you don't try. And if you lose trying, it's still a reward in heaven. Luke 6:22, Matthew 5:11. Even if you're insulted in the name of Jesus, man, your rewards are in heaven. So I thought, you know what? I'm doing it. I got nothing to lose. I don't know the guy. He doesn't know me. I said, hey, Rick, I just got to ask you one question. What's on the other side of that fence when you die? He says, Jeff, now mind you, he had just got done telling me that he was telling me all about his life. He did a two-month stint in jail. And he says, Jeff, I got to be honest. I was seeking when I was in jail, and I found a Jehovah Witness Bible. And that's all I found. But I got to be really honest. I think I'd go to hell today if I died. And that blew me away for just a minute. And I thought, man, I'm in now. I'm in. Hour and a half later, we're still talking. I said, hey, Rick, at the end of our conversation, we had an amazing conversation. I said, hey, Rick, would you do me a favor? Could I pray with you? He goes, yeah. And so I said, can I hold your hand? I don't know why I even said that, but it just came out. And I said, I don't know, I don't normally say that. I do that with women when I'm at the carryouts, if there's multiple people, we'll all hold hands. And I don't know why I said that, but I did. And a little reluctant, but he grabbed my hand. And I put my other hand on his shoulder, and we began to pray. 3 minutes. Lifted my head. He has tears in his eyes. He says, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing your faith with me. I thought to myself, man, I promised myself I wasn't going to cry today. I said, man, how great is it? He's thanking me for sharing my faith. And I was blown away, and I thought, I am being filled. I love doing what I do. And it was so rewarding. And I thought, gosh, I am so thankful I came. I'm so thankful I didn't chicken out. I'm so thankful that I practiced and I was dedicated that night to Jesus Christ. And I thought, man, Lord, thank you. I sat down, we got done talking. I said, hey, look, I got a book you got to read. Ripped it out of my wife's purse. I said, man, this is the thing called the one thing you can't do in heaven. I said, you got to read this book. It's a great book. I said, I'd like to get you a Bible. I said, I'm going to get you a Bible this week before I go back.